Ready to talk the real shit, man. I'm ready to see the numbers.
Yo, who are you? Yo, that's what I'm waiting on. Come on.
I got some goodies to hear. You ready?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Shred the Spread podcast. This is our last preview. We have made it to the West Coast, Donnell. We've made it. We've done the North. We've done the East. We've done the South. We got to finish the compass. We are on the West side. We're going to start off with the AFC West. We've got the Chiefs. We got the Chargers. We got the Raiders. We got the Broncos. A lot to talk about. But before we do, let me bring on my co-host, my right hand, my dude, Donnell. What's going on, man?
Yeah, what's going on, my guy? I like the fact that we're gonna go ahead and attack the AFC West this go around. Two coaches that I didn't want to be in the league are gone. Now they've been replaced. So I'm very, very intrigued to see how this league's gonna play out this year. I feel like bad coaching held this league back. So let's see if this league can be competitive as we once thought they were going to be.
There's two different ways we could look at the division. It could be extremely boring and you could play it chalky, or you could get a little bit frisky and spoiler alert, I found a couple spots, but let's dig right into it. Let's go.
All right, here we go. So in all likelihood, Deshaun Jackson's going to at least get a return. Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding? Way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry. That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
We have the Chiefs leading us off for this division. Obviously, the clear favorites. Okay, no shock to anybody. I'm sure Donnell and I have both said Chiefs are going to win this division. They're just, if you're going to tie your money up on the season, a straight bet. I said this on the NFC East. I paired the Chiefs with the Eagles. I've just been playing that. That's what I see fit. The Chiefs, though, have the 12th easiest schedule. They have a top 5 offensive line and a 14th defensive line. You've got the best quarterback. You've got the best coach. They win the division. They hit their win total. It's chalk every year. You just play it. Andy Reid is 9-2 the last 11 seasons as the Chiefs head coach and hitting the win total over. They can't put this number high enough, Donnell. They just cannot do it. Vegas gets crushed every single year. Not only do they have the best quarterback last year, surprisingly, the Chiefs were the second highest scoring defense. I don't really see anything besides if they're 5-1 or better, you bet them to win the Super Bowl. If Patrick Mahomes is 3-1 or better, you bet him to win MVP. And the Chiefs, you always just, if you want to, I mean, there's fewer things that are more guaranteed than a trust fund, and it might be the Chiefs to win the division. So I'm on the Chiefs to win the division. I'm on their win total. I'm on them to win the Super Bowl. What's not to like from this team, Donnell?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can go in different routes. I mean, I guess you would say their weakness is the receivers, but their strength is the best quarterback in all the NFL. So either way, that's going to knock off kind of like the problems there. Yes, you lost Jarius Sneed, a really big guy, big physical guy in the secondary to help out. And Trent McDuffie is now the number 1, which I think he's going to be surely capable. I expect Steve Spagnuolo and this defense to kind of just repeat their, maybe not repeat their success they had throughout the regular season last year, but at least be top 15. This defense would definitely be in the top 15. They got probably the best defensive tackle in all the game, and Chris Jones on the other side. Mm-hmm. And let's be real. Who in this division is stopping them? I mean, just off the strength of themselves, the Chiefs will already manifest probably the over and the win totals and definitely a possible Super Bowl appearance. I don't think they will make the Super Bowl, but that's just me. But come on. I mean, they're the clear fucking favorites to probably make the Super Bowl. But cultivating that just alone, the rest of the division, I mean, spoiler alert, it's rookies everywhere. I mean, you got a new coach out in LA along with the Chargers. You got a new coach and quarterback in Las Vegas, so there's no continuity there. There's going to rebuild there. And then the Broncos, you got not a new coach, but a new quarterback. But that whole scheme is really let's be honest, taking its first year into the step with Russell Wilson gone. So, I mean, just cultivating the division around itself, you already can see that the Chiefs will probably manhandle this division.
Yeah, I mean, this division can be very boring. I do have a few plus money plays that people might be interested in. Yep. But Donnell said, "Who's taking down the Chiefs?" Well, let's just segue into the next team, the Chargers. It's not the Chargers. I'll give you that. Yeah. Now, listen. I'm gonna put some benchmarks down here just to do our due diligence. But the Chargers' second easiest schedule and strength of schedule, 12th offensive line, 22nd defensive line. However, those motherfuckers are always hurt. That defensive line, I have them ranked as the last on quarterback pressure because they're always hurt. So I will say this, 45-1 seems a bit high for Super Bowl odds. So now there's two ways you could play this. You could just throw a couple bucks on them, a quarter unit, fifth of a unit. I mean, whatever you want to do for them to win the Super Bowl, because is there a path? Yes, they are a tough out. However, I'm not going to say here and tell you that it's a slam dunk play, because it's not. Herbert just got out of a walking boot, and we have a new coach, and everybody is talking them up, taking away the value. I'm going to be honest, I don't see it. This is a team that I feel like Donnell and I are going to target next year, get a year under the belt with the head coach. They've got a lot of bad contracts on this team. You have Bosa, who's aging, Khalil Mack aging. I think people like the idea of Herbert, but they're not being realistic with his results. I mean, he's been in the same draft class with Joe Burrow, who's made a Super Bowl, with Jalen Hurts, who's made a Super Bowl.
Thank you.
To be honest, I took the alt under 7.5 at plus 225, and I also sprinkled a little bit on the alt under at 6.5 plus 340. But again, would this team surprise us if they make the wild card and they're just giving people an out, a tough out in the playoffs? I'm not going to be surprised, but I'm just being realistic here with my expectations. This is the Chiefs division. They're going to run through these teams. And I know Justin Herbert has I think he's like 5-2 or 6-2, whatever, against the spread against the Chiefs. But that's, when we're talking about winning games here, I don't want to, weigh too much on that, but I am not high on these Chargers as the public is, Donnell.
No, yeah, me neither. I mean, guys, let's be honest. Justin Herbert is, and I don't like to say this because I do like Justin Herbert, but he's probably been the most overrated quarterback we've been talking about in the past 4 to 5 years.
Results wise,
yes. You got talent. Oh God, by God, you help.
Got it. But he plays hero too much.
He got the fucking wheels on it too. He definitely has wheels on top of that too. But this results wise, and granted, you can't help the fact that Brandon Staley was your coach either. That motherfucker lost you 2 games.
I agree.
2 to 3 games by yourself. The coaches have been in the fucking dungeon for the past 2 years. Good job he's going. Jim Harbaugh's there, so I feel like there's going to be an uptick there. But like you said, we don't have as far as the veteran receivers, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are both gone. So now you're putting your faith in Winston Johnston, who let's be honest, we laughed
draft
at
picks last year.
Yeah, we laughed at because he laughed at because he couldn't catch the ball. And I'm sorry for laughing because I was just thinking about those couple memes in my head. that was
which sucks because he was so good at TCU.
Exactly. And this kid has potential, and some rookies have those bumps. Devontae Adams had the same exact problem coming at Boston College when he played with Aaron Rodgers. Big drops issued, and after the second, third year, he finally got it. So maybe he might get it around, but you're banging a lot on a receiver who struggled mightily last year as a rookie. And then you drafted McConkey.
McConkey.
Yeah, man, McConkey, what? Georgia, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yep, Georgia. Okay, just want to make sure. And you got McConkey from Georgia. So I guess it's going to help on the outside, but you're extremely young out there. You got good tackles, but is your interior going to hold up as far as the offensive line? And let's be real, the defense, like you said, yes, they've been hurt, but they've been very underwhelming under Brandon Staley's watch. So maybe you might get a little pop here. Like I said, there is a path for them to make the playoffs. I mean, this team let's be honest, Justin Herbert's as talented as it can be, but the biggest thing is, can we just stop putting the game in his hands so often? And I think, hopefully Dobbins and Gus Edwards can provide some running game as they did for Lamar Jackson. So there's a recipe to succeed, but I'm not banking on it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are big on Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. We'll see what we get out of him. Obviously, he's the guy out of Notre Dame, so high expectation for him. The guy's huge. He's like 6'8", 330 pounds. So I mean, they have a foundation, but as I said earlier, I think we're a year away with this team. I think this is a team Donnell and I will target next year. I just think they're a little bit ahead of the curve. So, again, we'll see how this plays out, but I don't think we're going to be that high on the Chargers. Let's go to a team that, this is going to be interesting. I'm curious to hear what you say.
Okay.
Say what you hear about this.
Oh, boy.
The Raiders have the 9th hardest schedule. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
19th offensive line, top 10 defensive line. Here is a flyer that I think people are going to love.
Ooh, go ahead, boy. Go ahead.
Max Crosby, Defensive Player of the Year. You can get all shop around plus 600, plus 700. Listen, this team just picked up Christian Wilkins, who's going to be getting double teamed every single possession. He's getting the Aaron Donald treatment. Well, guess who hasn't been able to play single coverage or single blocker on the defensive line? That's Max Crosby. He is going to be on the end. He's fast. He's strong. This is his for the taking. As long as he wants it, he will get it. And I will tell you this defensive line has a shot.
Yes.
At being one of the best running defensive lines in the league. And in a division where we have rookies and new coaches, a lot of chemistry to be built up, all it takes is a few sacks here and there. And next thing you know, Max Crosby's leading the lead in sacks. So plus 600 or higher is a absolute play for me. I got him at plus 650 a week ago. I still see a couple markets out there. I'm not going to lie. I haven't looked in a few days, so I'm not sure what the market has done as we get closer to the season. But a few things here just to target. I do like this team. I like Gardner Minshew. I like him better than Aiden O'Connell. I feel like Gardner Minshew gets this kind of rough treatment. But if you look at Gardner Minshew's numbers versus Trevor Lawrence over the last 2 years, believe it or not, Gardner Minshew sweeps him in every single category. Yards per attempt, touchdown percentage, yards. I mean, he does a lot of the major categories. He surprisingly has done better than Lawrence over the last 2 years. And I'm going to say this, I will admit, Gardner Minshew leaving Shane Steichen, he might take a little bit of a step back, but I feel like last year he gained a lot of valuable lessons in that offense. I'm really curious to see what he does. Zamir White, I like his over rushing yards because I feel like this is going to be a very standard offense, slow, 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. They've got Brock Bowers. However, I will say, stay away from his props. There is absolutely zero value. Those things have been bet to the moon and back, and there is just no way that I can get a positive EV play on them. They're just way too high. I will say Devontae Adams is sitting at like 1,000 yards receiving. That offense is going to funnel through him. There's really no other really good receivers on that team. So Zamir White is obviously going to get the bulkhead of the carries. So I like him over for rushing. Devontae Adams, he's going to get 1,000 yards. Minshew, I mean, we saw what Minshew was doing with Pittman for a little bit. I mean, it was impressive. So, but Brock Bowers, he's obviously adding that dynamicness to the offense. They're my sleeper for this division. I think I'm just giving Minshew a little bit better than I think people are getting him credit for. And I will say this, Dino, week 1, Raiders are sitting at plus 3.5 against the Chargers. Not trying to play spoiler here.
Ooh, baby.
My God.
Baby.
Talk to me.
No, bro, 100%. This is definitely one of my sleeper teams that I feel like people kind of slept on. And you're right. And I love the fact that you brought up the 12 personnel because you got the 2 tight end matches. They have a offensive coordinator that literally matches and plays 12 personnel. So I feel like this is a great match with Luke Getsy as offensive coordinator. Like I said, you got one of the best. You got one of the best, if not the best receiver on the outside. You got a tall receiver in Jacoby Myers who can play that short in that mid-range game. And then like I said, 2 extremely talented tight ends, especially Brock Bowers coming out. I mean, this offense has potential to do things. And I say that because people are kind of like midi with Gardner Minshew. They're kind of on and off. But what if I tell you this? Gardner Minshew put those numbers last year with what Michael Pittman. He had Josh Downs, which was a rookie last year. Who else was a coach? I mean, receiving who was it? Jelani Wood. Jelani Woods, the tight end.
Had a couple of good games.
Exactly. So we're going from that group now to Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Michael Meyer, and then like I said, this is going to probably has the potential to be the best receiving core he has around him to his disposal. So I feel like that's going to help a lot there. I mean, I do hope that Zamir White gets going because he's going to be a real X factor for this offense. They're going to have to be able to run the ball to help him out. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the combination of of the talent around him, plus Gardner Minshew's ability, I really have this team can really provide. I mean, a huge spark and honestly a shot because, like I said, I mean, the over under is 7.5. Last time I checked for FanDuel, I had them around that 8-9 range.
I got them at 8, 9 or 8
range. Yeah, they're going to be sneaky, guys. They're going to be sneaky, and like you said, first week against the Chargers. Come on, like that. Sure. Nah, Jerry, you might be onto something there, especially with that Raiders supposed to have dead ass. So, but you have a head coach who's definitely a player guy. He's going to get a lot of fire out of this, out of this team. The defense, like you said, where do you like to start at? The D line, right? And they definitely showed up that D line, getting Christian Wilkins on the other side. He is a demon. Max Crosby is going to turn up. I like your defensive player of the year bet. I didn't think about that, but that's actually a good bet. And I guess, like I said, the biggest thing is going to be the secondary. But if you have a very good front seven, or a good 2-3 ends and deep tackles that can rush the quarterback at some point too and stop the run, you can cover that up. So this team has a potential definitely around that 8-9 range.
Cool. Well, I'm just gonna say that you kind of talked me into it more, so that could be scary. Could be good. Could be good. But it's also scary. I mean, what a time, dude. We're sitting here talking up the Raiders to be 8-9, and we're excited about it.
Yeah. Josh McDaniels is going. Fuck him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, looking forward to that team.
Yes.
But let's segue into the last team, the Denver Broncos. I don't have much to say about them, but I do have another long shot, or not long shot, but a pretty good prop that we could target.
Go ahead and say it.
So just going through, the Broncos have the 8th hardest schedule. Yeah. 15th offensive line, and get this, 31st defensive line. Now, how many teams are in the NFL, Dino?
32.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Yeah, so they're second to last. I will say this for, again, all you NCAA fans. Bo Nix, what does he do? He throws the ball. What does he also do? He is inconsistent as hell. So I have bet offensive rookie of the year for Bo Nix. Just too much value. Obviously, for the NFC East, you guys know that I also bet Jaden Daniels. There is a path for them to win. And, if you're going to give me 3-1, 6-1 to better, and then Bo Nix, 13-1? There's a path, because guess what? The Broncos are always going to be losing. They're going to be playing catch up. So Bo Nix is going to throw the ball. I know he's inconsistent, but we remember we have Sean Payton, and we know Sean Payton is an offensive genius. He's going to give him promise, or he gives me promise. He's going to give us hope. This defense stinks. Again, they're going to be chasing points. So peep this. Target Bo Nix most rookie passing yards plus 450. Bang.
My boy, I knew you was going that route, because I was thinking that same type way. I mean, think about it, and let's be real. As far as the preseason is looking at right now, and I understand the second stringers, third stringers, Bo Nix did look pretty damn good. Pretty damn good and confident. Yeah, man. Like I feel like this is the first year Sean Payton can finally put his stamp on this team. But I wanted to let him know now, like, this is your show now, okay? Russell Wilson is gone, all right? You wanted him gone. He's completely gone. This is your show now, all right? This defense has been abysmal. And honestly, it still is abysmal, to be honest with you. Let's just hope, 70 points don't get dropped in their head in one game like they did last year. And let's hope that this team can be kind of middle of the pack for the Broncos to kind of succeed. But, I mean, there's the only thing good I can say about the Broncos is there's going to be promise with Bo Nix. I wish they had more weapons on the outside. They got Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, there's lost Jerry Jeudy. They and their tight ends. I mean, they got a whole lot of tight end, like Greg Dulcich, I think.
Yeah, and Troutman.
Yeah, like he's. I mean, he's literally. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's in a kind of in a bad situation as far as weapons wise, but he does have the right coach. I feel like he has the right coaches. As long as he likes you, you perform well. I guess that's the theme. And Pat Surtain, I'm sorry again. You're going to be one of the most worst defensive units in the league again. So that's kind of what they did here. There's not really nothing to really bet. Bo Nix, offensive rookie of the year, like I said, plus 1,300 is definitely big time. Passing yards, definitely big time. They're going to be down big time. So it makes too much sense.
Yeah, I just think not only is he confident, he's he obviously bounced around. He went to Auburn and Oregon, and he just is a guy where he's going to let it rip. He's going to pass a lot, and we know Sean Payton likes passing the ball. We saw it with Drew Brees. I mean, we saw several high scoring teams in the Saints era. So obviously the weapons, they're subpar, but you still have Cortland Sutton, who we're going to give him his props. Yep. Josh Reynolds, I mean, he's solid.
Yeah.
And then obviously you got Marvin Mims. So, it's going to be an interesting way. I'm curious to see if they go more spread, because I think Bo Nix does like a little bit more spread, high pace. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, Bo Nix is pretty fast. He can get out and scramble. Yeah. So this is going to be an interesting team to watch. So yeah, I do really like his, to lead the rookie in passing yards, and obviously sprinkled a little bit on the offensive rookie of the year. But
screens, screens as well. I feel like there'll be a lot of screens involved. Remember when Sean Payton early on with Pierre Thomas? I mean, Pierre Thomas was a screen guy at one point, man. So with the rookie quarterback, that's going to help alleviate a lot of that pressure on the coming up on him too.
Yeah, so that scheme's going to give him an opportunity to succeed. We're not expecting this team to win the division, win the Super Bowl, anything like that, but we are expecting some points to be put up this year. I mean, the Broncos, my God, dude, watching the last few years, it's like we're just happy when we see them get 2 touchdowns. So hopefully they're not on too many Thursday night games like Russell Wilson was, because that shit was a disaster. But yeah, man, I think this is pretty chalky. You found those 2 little big plays. But other than that, dude, I mean, this is Chiefs division, so how can you bet against them?
Honestly.
So, this has been the AFC West. Next week we have the AFC or the NFC West. That'll be coming out right after this episode. That will be our final divisional preview. But before we get out of here, Donnell, do you have any last words for our listeners?
Same message as always, knuckleheads. Make sure you guys tune into X and follow at _spread_ and then follow me as well at Dyneezy, DYNEEZY. Like I said, I'm going to be a little bit more active on my page when it comes to some betting, some changes has happened, especially some stuff going live in the games. I'm going to be definitely more interactive. So yeah, shoot me definitely a follow, man. Let's get this train going.
He said it best. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of the STS podcast. Until next time, we'll see you.
Peace.